Imagine this, a world where power has only one acceptable face, male, and where the word pharaoh isn't just a political title, but a sacred, cosmic role, almost biological. And then, suddenly, a woman steps onto the stage and doesn't settle for being a regent. She doesn't content herself with protecting the throne until the child grows up. She does the unthinkable, she becomes pharaoh. With a name, a cartouche, a crown, ceremonies, and even the ritual beard. She is Hatshepsut. And the question that will keep you hooked until the end is this: how did a woman, in a system built to exclude her, rule Egypt as one of the most effective leaders of the new kingdom, and why, after her death, did someone try to erase her from history? Hatshepsut is born at the very heart of power. She is the daughter of Thutmose I, one of the strong figures of the early 18th dynasty, and she grows up among court rituals, temples, and the most powerful administrative machine in the Eastern Mediterranean. From the start, she understands one thing: in Egypt, it's not only the one with the army who rules, it's the one with sacred legitimacy. And this is where her greatest miracle begins. Hatshepsut doesn't win only through force or intrigue, she wins by building a story so convincing it becomes reality. She marries Thutmose II, her half-brother, according to the dynastic rules of the time, and becomes great royal wife, the highest female role possible, until everything changes. Thutmose II dies relatively young, and the heir, Thutmose III, is still too young to rule alone. At that point, Hatshepsut does what everyone expects: she becomes regent. So far, everything is normal. But then comes the turning point. After a few years, Hatshepsut takes the forbidden step and assumes the full royal titulary, ruling as a king of Egypt for roughly 20 years overall, with phases of co-regency and direct rule. And here her genius comes into play. Instead of hiding the anomaly, she turns it into ideology. Hatshepsut presents herself as chosen by the gods, appointed by Ammonius himself. In texts and images, she appears with the attributes of a pharaoh: the crown, the ceremonial kilt, the kingly posture, and in many depictions even a more masculine body and features. This isn't a disguise, it's a political message. She's saying, the role matters more than gender. If the order of the world, Ma'at, requires a strong pharaoh, then she becomes that pharaoh. But here's the key: Hatshepsut isn't remembered because she took power. She's remembered because she ruled well. You can see it in her strategy. Instead of betting everything on wars and conquests, she invests in stability, wealth, international prestige, and above all, monumental building projects. Her masterpiece is the mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari, a sacred stage set carved into the rock, designed to shout to the world, this reign is legitimate. This reign is blessed. This ruler is inevitable. Britannica describes her power as unprecedented for a woman, and no wonder. Hatshepsut understood that a monument is a political statement that outlives any army. Then comes the most cinematic episode of her reign, the expedition to the land of Punt. Punt is wrapped in an almost mythical aura, land of the gods, land of aromas, riches, wonders, and Hatshepsut uses it as tangible proof of her success. This isn't just trade, it's propaganda in the form of adventure. The walls of Deir el-Bahari show ships loaded with exotic goods, and the arrival of precious products like frankincense and myrrh, with scenes of unloading, and even living trees being transported. It's a brilliant choice, because incense isn't just a luxury, it fuels temple rituals, so it's an economy and a religion at the same time. And here you can add one of the best anecdotes for the video: the idea that Hatshepsut didn't just want to bring home gold and spices, but also to bring Punt into Egypt, to make it take root in front of the temples, turning a commercial triumph into a permanent symbol of divine blessing. Whether done systematically or symbolically, the message is crystal clear: I don't bring only wealth. I bring sacredness and prosperity. Of course, a reign like this can't be free of shadows and intriguing questions. The most famous one involves Senenmut, the architect and official very close to the queen. Some have suggested a personal relationship, but the truth is there's no definitive proof. What we do know for sure is that Senenmut represents a typical New Kingdom kind of power: skilled technicians and administrators, promoted because they serve the state machine and the ruler's political project. In a video, this works perfectly because it feeds the mystery without turning into gossip. You can say Hatshepsut surrounded herself with capable people, and that her miracle was also organizational, worksites, temples, trade routes, officials, coordinated propaganda. And Thutmose III? The most fascinating point is that this isn't a simple movie plot. Thutmose III isn't eliminated. He doesn't vanish, he grows up and becomes a great ruler and commander. Hatshepsut doesn't destroy the future king, she absorbs him into the system, keeps him within the order of the court. Which makes the final question even more explosive. If everything was stable, why erase her? After Hatshepsut's death, in fact, many images and cartouches are damaged, removed, or replaced. For centuries, people assumed it was Thutmose III's personal revenge. But more recent research points toward more complex explanations, not just resentment, but dynastic logic, the need to normalize the succession, and in some cases ritual practices meant to deactivate a power that had ended. In other words, the erasure may have been less hate and more cold politics. And her death? This is where we enter detective territory. For a long time, no one knew for certain where her body was. In the 2000s, one of the best-known hypotheses was that a female mummy from tomb KV60 was identified as Hatshepsut thanks to a combination of examinations, and a detail that became legendary, a tooth that seemed to match a gap in the mummy's jaw. It's the perfect story for a video, because it feels like a twist from an archaeological thriller. But it has to be told carefully. Some accounts present it as of a positive identification, while academic studies and debates emphasize that, even if she is a very likely candidate, absolute certainty is difficult and the discussion isn't completely closed. What is certain, though, is the symbolic ending. Hatshepsut ruled so effectively that even when they tried to erase her, they didn't truly succeed. Because her monuments remain. The reliefs remain. The routes and projects she launched remain. And above all, one huge fact remains. In one of the most powerful civilizations in history, a woman took the most sacred title in the ancient world and made it believable, functional, and prosperous. So the life, death, and miracles of Hatshepsut are this: a life built inside power, a political miracle that turns the impossible into the inevitable, a death wrapped in mystery, and an afterlife marked by attempted erasure, that ultimately becomes the final proof of her greatness. Because if someone goes to the trouble of destroying your name on the walls, it means one thing: you truly changed the rules of the game.